interest. However, the group proposed a virtual meeting, citing concerns that its members were outside Lagos.
The October 1st protest aims to highlight the economic hardship in Nigeria caused by fuel price hikes, increased electricity tariffs, and inflation. The movement claims that none of the demands from their previous demonstrations in August have been met, including the reversal of fuel subsidy removal, reversal of fee hikes in public institutions, and review of the Constitution. And joining us is National Publicity Secretary of the African Action Congress, Femi Adeyeye. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. I mean, a lot of people who are currently hearing about the proposal for a new protest, would argue that, these people are just wasting their time. If you see the reaction to the previous protest, and of course, they have also attested to the fact that, the government didn't necessarily even answer any of their requests in the previous protest. So would you agree, that this one is just another waste of time?
All right. For us, we keep saying, and it's actually a mantra everywhere by activists and revolutionaries, that the price we pay for liberty is eternal vigilance. We are not going to sit back and watch this economy continue on this trajectory. And so it is not going to be a waste of time. The people who are wasting their time are those who are postponing the day of judgment, and I mean the ruling class. You cannot beat a child and then tell the child not to cry, or determine when the child would cry, or determine where the child would cry, as in the case of several court orders that were first of all pushed forward, that Nigerians can only protest in some designated areas and all of that. So you cannot force Nigerians into hardship and then you just expect them to keep quiet. So it's not going to be a waste of time. Those who are wasting their time, like I said, are the ruling class. They are only postponing the day of judgment. But from October 1st, a new round of protests would happen across the country and even outside the country to restate our demands. And by this time, we have 17 demands. 15 demands were actually democratically selected from a poll organized by the leader of our party, Comrade Shore, on his ex-handle. And Nigeria stated some of these demands. It was not from the head of anybody. Nigerians were the ones who said, okay, these are the things that we want. But now we've added two to it, one of which is that all bad governance protesters who are languishing in prison must be released unconditionally and immediately because they've committed no offense. We cannot have a society where activists are being hounded like this, where they are being arrested, detained, yet you have criminals, the real ones who do the crime. They are nowhere to be found. Just in the case of, you just mentioned, I think you were discussing with the last speaker, the bribery allegation of Bobrisky and how he was not in prison and all of that. So we live in a society where people who expose crime, they are vilified. But the real criminals are the friends of the ruling class. So that is not the kind of society we want as a party. That is not the society we want as a movement. That is not the kind of society Nigerians wish for themselves. And that is why the Fearless in October protest is a very important social action that everyone should be part of, including people in the media.
Don't you worry about what this Fearless in October might eventually turn out into, especially judging from the End Bad Governance protest, how it turned out, and how a number of them now have the court to face and strong charges leveled against them?
We would not run away from these cowards, like we call them. They are the ones who continue to make these simple requests. They continue to make them seem complex. And they try as much as possible to also criminalize the genuine, agitations of Nigerians. What were people asking for? End hardship, reverse this fuel subsidy removal that has, plummeted the economy. Reverse this policy of floating the naira in an import-based economy. It's not going to work. There is no, in fact, the people who are selling these ideas to them, these economic policies, they don't do that in their own country. Do you get? So they are the ones who continue to make these things look complex and criminalize, the genuine agitations of Nigerians. But for us, we will not give up on these agitations just because a few persons are trying to protect their interests. And that is what Nigeria is about. The majority of us are protesting, asking that this country works, while there are just a few of them, are making sure that they hold this country in the jugular. So we are not afraid of whatever they are going to do. What we are saying is that Nigerians should troop out in their numbers. Troop out in their numbers. I don't know if you've seen the circular by the police and how they described Nigerians in that circular, in that memo, as unscrupulous elements. It's there. I sent it to one of your reporters. The memo from the police is saying that some unscrupulous elements want to protest. So the Nigerian police is regarding, Nigerians who are protesting hardship as unscrupulous elements. It's going to tell you the kind of idea, the kind of spirit that runs this kind of society. But for us, we won't sit back and watch these people criminalize protests. We won't sit back and watch them continue to plunge this country into a police state and a total state capture. We will be out October 1st and we'll call on all Nigerians. And as a party, we are supporting this totally. We are, in fact, completely. And this one is going to be very comprehensive. We have also written as a party to embassies, in the country to restrict, to impose a visa ban on all these violators of human rights.
Do you expect to see Nigerians actually come out on the 1st of October?
Definitely. Nigerians, and that is why we target Fearless in October. The fear that they tried to instill in Nigerians from August 1st did not work. And that is why they are not trying that tactics anymore. Before they would have sent out DSS to start picking up people. They would have sent out a memo, to scare people. Even in a place like Lagos, they said they are going to do Oro, the traditional worship and what have you, to just scare people from. But people still came out during the last protest. So it's to show them that those tactics of, scaring people, trying to create some kind of panic in the society, is not going to work. Hunger does not understand all of these scare tactics. And
how long is this protest going to last? Is it going to be just for one day? And do you really have confidence in the fact that the protest will give you the desired results?
And that will be left to the people we are, demanding all of these things from. The results and everything will be left to them if they are actually ready to accede to these demands. But this protest is going to be comprehensive and it's going to be total, borrowing the words of the Nigerian Labour Congress, how they use it whenever they want to now strike. So it's going to be comprehensive and it's going to be total. Nigerians are going to troop out in their numbers to express how they feel about their own hardship. It is not what, like the DSS explained to say, described and said there is alleged hardship in the country. There's nothing alleged about the hardship in the country. This is a breakfast show.
All right.
I put it to you. You can do a study after this. How many Nigerians have actually had breakfast this morning? Or can even say this is what I have as planned for my breakfast? There is serious hardship in the land, and as a political party, we would not sit back and watch our people suffer.
But just to quickly clarify, how long is this protest scheduled to last for?
And that's why I said it's going to be comprehensive, total, until we win. This is not.
Oh, so it's not like it's going to be for 5 or 10 days or 15 days.
No, and it's going to have different fashion. There are different style of protests you are going to see starting from October 1st, 2024. Different styles. I can promise you that.
Okay, I mean, there's always fears that the protest will be hijacked by,
other elements.
Exactly. What's your reaction to that? And, how do you plan to manage that? Even if, yes, it should be the police that should ensure that, that doesn't happen. But do you have those worries as well?
No, we do not worry about that because these people you call miscreants, you call hoodlums, are actually Nigerians. These adjectives are only used by those who want to push the narrative that they are anti-people. They are not. They call them hoodlums when it has to do with protests. But these hoodlums are their political talks during elections. They are their friends. Do you understand? So what we are saying is that everybody must come out at this time to express how they feel. You see, Nigerians are at that point where people are now losing jobs. Because people cannot spend as much as, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he said he spends as much as 7,000 naira to earn 3,000 naira per day. That is the situation where we found ourselves. So anytime you hear about this hijack, it is the narrative of the security apparatus that work with the ruling class. That is what they say. But if it were to be a rally to praise the government, there will be no fear about hijack. Any hijack you've seen that has happened in this country was actually orchestrated by the political class.
All right.
We saw what happened during elections. We saw how DSS officers were moving around with political thugs in SUVs. We saw that of Lagos State too. Hoodlums, thugs were put in air-conditioned buses. We are ferried down to protest grounds. So they are the ones who do all of these things, and not the people. Those people you call thugs are actually the people who should be out there protesting the more.
All right.
This is also a to be not to be used by political.
All right, Femi Adeyeye, thank you very much for joining us, National Publicity Secretary of the African Action Congress. We count down to the 1st of October and see how things unfold. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.